Hey, what's up, everybody? One of the things you need to know as a small business owner is that your bookkeeping is probably wrong. Your financial statements are probably inaccurate. Okay. Now, let me wind back and say why I say that. So, the reason why I say that is because you're likely doing them yourself. A lot of small business owners are doing their own bookkeeping. Even if they're at a point where they need to utilize QuickBooks, they're doing it themselves. Now, QuickBooks is going to import the transactions. You're going to connect your bank account. It's going to import the transactions, and then you're going to categorize them. And so it seems pretty foolproof, but I promise you it's not. 9 out of 10, maybe 99 out of 100 new clients that I get that were doing their own bookkeeping, there are errors in there that have either overstated or understated their net income. All right. So there's a couple reasons why you don't want to do that. Pretty obvious ones. But the first one is you don't have good data. You don't actually know how much money you're making, or if you're losing money, if your income statement isn't accurate. The second one is you open yourself up to IRS penalties and interest audits. You might also understate expenses or overstate income. In either of those situations, you're paying more taxes than you otherwise should have. And the biggest thing here is QuickBooks makes it so easy. It imports the transactions, you categorize it, and you move on. And you think everything is fine, and you look on the banking tab, says I have $10,000 in the bank. Look here, I have $10,000 in the bank. All right. But sometimes what happens is transactions get changed after they get imported, or it didn't quite import all of them. So if you're not looking at the bank accounts, usually what happens is there's timing differences. So the bank account isn't always necessarily the same as QuickBooks, but they can both, but the QuickBooks can still be right because of outstanding checks or items that haven't cleared yet. So just because it's importing the transactions, I see this all the time. It's importing the transactions. I've got everything there, so I don't need to do an official bank reconciliation. Oh, yes, you do. I get so many clients that aren't doing bank reconciliations. I start doing the bank reconciliation, and I see duplicate transactions. Transactions that were imported, but then they also entered them manually, and they're in there twice. If that's an expense, you've understated your income, you get audited, you owe taxes and interest and penalties on it. If you have duplicated income, you've overstated your income, you've paid more taxes than you should have. I mean, I've taken businesses that had $600,000 on the bottom line, net income of $600,000, and because of incorrect transactions or missing transactions or duplicate transactions, that income has swung by $200,000. I mean, that's 33% difference because of incorrect entries. And they had a dedicated bookkeeper, someone in the company dedicated to doing the QuickBooks. And it was just because of the way that the accounting works behind the scenes, they had either duplicated things or they hadn't matched up certain transactions. So there were in there twice, or there were some missing transactions as well. And then the other one is things get categorized incorrectly. So you can use items in QuickBooks, or you can just put things directly to your general ledger, your chart of accounts. But either way, it has to eventually get into the general ledger, into a chart of account, whether it be a balance sheet, which is like your banking account, savings account, credit cards, loans, receivables, payables, equity, it's your balance sheet, or whether it's the income statement, income, business expenses. All right. So it's got to get into one of those. And sometimes it should be on the income statement and it gets coded to something on the balance sheet. So your income statement is either over or understated. All right. Or it should be on the balance sheet and it gets coded to the income statement. It happens a lot. So your income is either over or understated. So again, if you're doing your own books or you have someone doing them who's not an actual accountant, I mean, this could be a friend, a family member, an employee who just kind of had to step into that role because, you didn't have someone else to do it. It could be one of these kind of trained overnight to have a bookkeeping business. It's almost like multi-level marketing, which I don't have anything against that in principle. But what happens is you get people out there who are just trying to run this business and become profitable, but they don't actually know the accounting behind what they're doing in their bookkeeping business. You need a trained accountant to do your bookkeeping. Or I do this for a lot of clients. They do it and I come in behind them at the end of the year or monthly or quarterly, whenever they want. And I look through things. I train them. I tell them, here's how you categorize that. They call me before they do it and say, hey, I've got a transaction. I haven't had one like this before. Can you help me put it in? But that way, that the financials are right, because that at the end of the day is what you need to make good decisions for your business, to know if you're profitable or not, and to file an accurate tax return so you don't get audited, or if you do get audited, that you reported the right amount of taxes. You didn't either pay more than you should have. No one wants to pay more taxes than they should have, or you don't get caught paying too little and have to end up paying not only the taxes, but penalties and interest on it. So your bookkeeping, you want it right. You want someone trained in accounting so they can get it right. And if you don't, it's most likely, based on my personal experience, again, 9 out of 10, probably 99 out of 100. I mean, 99% of the books that come in need an adjustment that is significant to the bottom line net income of the business, which affects the accuracy of the taxes they pay. My name is Brad. I'm with Boone CPA. My goal is to bring peace to your finance and tax responsibilities. Please subscribe to the channel and hit the bell so you're notified when new videos come out. Thank you for watching.